Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Bold Metal Nerd coming at you with the next video in my Megadeth series. This video I'm going to be talking about Cryptic Writings, which came out in 1997. Now, why did my favorite metal bands have to torture me with not up to par albums the year I graduated from high school? Oh, it's a mystery. I think it was a worldwide conspiracy. Anyway, Cryptic Writings was their last album that featured Nick Menza on drums, thus ending the era of a stable Megadeth lineup. Now they decided to bring in a new a new producer, Dan Huff, who was known for producing country acts, and they purposely wrote songs with accessible song structures specifically aimed for radio play. Now, this would be where a lot of people would scream, sell out. Um, Honestly, I would probably tend to agree with that assessment. This is probably their biggest sellout album aside from Countdown, which obviously was a very commercial grab as well. They just executed much better on Countdown. On this, it's a little more, they don't do it quite as well. So how did this album fare? Let's go ahead and find out. The album starts out with Trust. It's a good, slowish, mid-paced song. Now, this song was very, very heavily played on the radio when the album came out. And even now, every now and then, even today, it can be heard on the radio. It's probably their, second most famous song right after Symphony of Destruction. But Symphony just crushes the song as far as quality goes. Now, after that, you got Almost. I can't talk today. You've got Almost Honest. It's an okay mid-paced song with some good bottom end. After that, you got Use the Man. It's a very unique ballad where the intro is a song by a group called The Searchers, which then cuts to the actual song. This is my personal favorite on the album. Now, unfortunately, the intro is not on the remix and remaster, which is the more easily obtained album because Mustaine, in his infinite wisdom, decided to have the original non-remasters. They're not in print anymore. Anyway, after that, you've got Mastermind. It's a somewhat above-average mid-paced song, and it's one of the heavier on the album. After that, you got The Disintegrators. It's a fast number. It's actually the fastest song they had done since Rust in Peace. It's a very good song. After that, you got I'll Get Even. It's an average mid-paced song, but it does have a good groove, and it has the dubious honor of being their lightest song up to this point. And I don't mean light like a ballad. I mean light like radio rock. And this album was designed to be radio friendly. After that, you got Sin. It's a good mid-paced song. After that, you got A Secret Place. It's a good mid-paced song with an interesting intro. After that, you got Have Cool Will Travel. It's a very bluesy mid-paced song with a lot of harmonicas. It's an average song overall, but I do like the harmonicas on it. After that, you got She-Wolf. It's a great, fast-paced track. Another highlight standout song, really. After that, you got Vortex. It's a quite good, faster mid-paced track with a great crunch. And finally, you have FFF. It's another good, fast track, and it's very reminiscent of Motor Breath by Metallica. In fact, the main riff is the same in both songs. Now, this album is definitely their lightest up to this point, but it still has some very heavy moments and some excellent songs. It's a very experimental album, and they certainly got more radio play with this album than any other before or since. Although it's not their best-selling album, Countdown has that honor. Now, for the most part, experiments fit into the songs fairly well, although the album is dragged down somewhat by some average songs and the fact that they were obviously writing songs that they would hope would get them radio play. It definitely knocks down the overall quality level. Even with these shortcomings, though, it's a fairly enjoyable listen if you can accept it for what it is. If you only are into hardcore metal, give this thing a pass. But if you want to check it out, it is worth your time. I give it a 70 out of 100. It's not a must-have for anyone. It just isn't. But there are some standout tracks on here that I do feel make the album worth it. Next up, I will be talking about their most maligned album, and that, of course, is Risk. You know, anyway, if you liked what you see, please watch my next Megadeth video. So, I will see you guys in just a minute.